back to Nose in a Book. I'm Jess, and today we're going to be doing the Finally Fall book tag. So as far as I know, I wasn't tagged to do this, but guys, I live in a desert and we don't get a lot of leaves, and we like changing colors and crisp air. It's still been in the 90s this week. It's just no fun. And so I wanted to do some tags that made me feel all warm and fuzzy on the inside and cold and crisp on the outside. So without further ado, let's get into these questions because there's quite a few of them. Let me find my list of questions first. Where did I put that? There we are. So this tag was created by Alina at Tall Tales. I will go ahead and include her video in the description down below so you can go check it out. Alright, so the first question. In fall, the air is crisp and clear. Name a book with a vivid setting. This was a very recent read for me. Caraval by Stephanie Garber. So I talked about this in one of my wrap-up videos. Caraval is so mysterious. The atmosphere is so beautiful. Very well described. The whole area is well described. And then there is also a map in here that was very helpful in seeing how everything fit together. And it was just really you can see all the details, and that's what is being used throughout the story. But one of the things that made this story so vivid is actually a description from the point of view of the character. So Scarlett sees emotions, her emotions specifically, in colors. So I thought at first it was just kind of a fancy literary device being used by the author, but she actually sees her fear and her love and her anger as a color, and she sees the color, she relates that color to the emotion, and it's so cool. It gives a whole nother vivid twist to this book that really has nothing to do with the plot or even the world, but the colors in the world were so well described, and I just really liked that a lot. Not to mention that Caraval is just this really magical place, and so it's very beautifully described and very colorful and very magical, and I just really enjoyed it. I had to go with this one for this question. It's wonderful. So question number 2 is, nature is beautiful but also dying. Name a book that is beautifully written but also deals with a heavy topic like loss or grief. So for this one, I had to go with A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. This book is beautifully written. I loved it. It's so thick and so lovely. It's beautiful. The story is beautiful. The world building is gorgeous. But the big thing that is prevalent in this book is the dealing with PTSD. Farah, our main character, has gone through something really awful in the first book, and so she is dealing with a lot of those emotions in this book, and it doesn't gloss over it. It's not and they lived happily ever after, the end. No, it's not at all. And then there are many other characters in this book that are dealing with similar emotions. It deals a lot with depression and PTSD and recovering from traumatic events in people's lives, and I just really loved how that was addressed in this book, and I thought it was well done, well written, and then melded perfectly together with the story as well. So it didn't feel like the author was trying to make a point either. It was just oh, it was so good. So I had to pick this one for this question. It really delves really deeply into those darker aspects, but it's absolutely beautifully written. Question number 3 is, fall is back to school season. Share a nonfiction book that taught you something new. So I've actually read 2 whole nonfiction books this year. Oh my gosh. So the one that I'm going to pick for this question is The Make Your Own Rules Diet by Tara Stiles. This book, I kind of took and left a couple of the things in here. It was really well written. I really enjoyed the writing style. But the big thing that I learned out of this book is meditation techniques. Now, I have done yoga quite often, but I've never actually tried meditation before. And there's a whole section on this in this book that is about meditation. And so she has different meditation techniques, and just describing how to do those, and so I've tried quite a few of them and really enjoyed meditating, and so it's been something that I've been continuing to do even after I finished this book that I learned from this book. So yeah, I knew what meditation was, but I'd never tried it before. So it was something new that came out of this one here. Question number 4 is, in order to keep warm, it's good to spend some time with the people we love. Name a fictional family, household, or friend group that you would like to be a part of. So of course my immediate thought is the Weasley family. Like, who doesn't want to be a Weasley or marry into the Weasley family? I'd be happy with that too. Who doesn't want to be a Weasley? Everyone wants to be a Weasley. They're amazing. They're one of the most amazing families in literature in my personal experience. I just really, really love them. The non-Harry Potter answer, I couldn't pick between them. And they're actually both from the Court of Thorns and Roses series, specifically A Court of Wings and Ruin. And then the first one starts in Court of Mist and Fury, and that is the circle with Feyre and Rhys and Amryn and Asriel and Cassian and more. Like, their group is so wonderful, and I would love to have like Cassian and Asriel as like older brother figures. Like, they're absolutely wonderful, and I would love to be a part of that group, that circle of friends. I would love to have Mor and Amryn as like basically my sisters. It would just be wonderful. And I would love to be a part of that. So the other one is actually from this, and it's a briefly mentioned one, and that is actually I think it's the Winter Court. Just that whole, like, the characters from the Winter Court, I can't remember their names right now, but that's just one of the ones that like popped into my head. Like, they're so familial and so like tight knit together, and like the Lord of the Winter Court and like his wife just make me laugh, and I would just love to be a part of that. It seemed like it was such a strong, like, loving family court, and I would just love to be a part of that one as well. So I had to pick 2 out of here. I couldn't pick because they just both seemed so great. Question number 5 is, the colorful leaves are piling up on the ground. Show us a pile of fall colored books. So I went with these ones. They look fall-y. Hooray! So I have Little Women, Crazy Love, this is Destined for Dune, and Rebecca. Question number 6 is, fall is the perfect time for some storytelling by the fireside. Share a book wherein somebody is telling a story. For this one, I have to go with The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. This one's not an epic like the Lord of the Rings trilogy. This is more of a folk tale, and the narrator actually treats the reader like they are telling them a story, and it is so well done in that way. It is such a like beautiful tale to like read and listen to. If you listen to the audiobook, it especially feels like someone's telling you a story. And I know that the question could have been like a person telling a story, but in this case, the whole book seems to be told by the narrator, on top of which there's a lot of storytelling that goes on in here. Like, a lot of different like groups of people or characters will tell a story of something that happened in the past. So it's really a great storytelling book, and I would love to listen to this by a fireside. Question number 7 is, the nights are getting darker. Share a dark, creepy read. So you guys all know I don't read me a lot of creepy. Yeah, I do not like scary. Scary, no bueno. Scary is too scary for me. But I do like some creepy-ish reads. A creepy-ish read would be the Forbidden Game trilogy by L.J. Smith. I still haven't finished this, and I actually mentioned it in a tag video last fall, and I never picked it up to finish it. So I will eventually do that, but I want to reread the first ones. So yeah, I'm just gonna sit down and like read it, probably like all in one big like set, one big bind up, and read it all. So just so you know, this is all 3 books. It's not like the first book, so it's actually not that long, but this book is definitely creepy. It follows our main character who has a she ends up finding a board game for a game night at her house, and in the board game, basically you build a small house, and every person who's playing puts a like fear into one of the rooms, and it's their worst fear, and they have to put their worst fear in there, and then once they start playing, they actually get sucked into the house, and they have to like live through their worst fear to get to the next level and the next level and the next level of the house until they get to the top level. and then who knows what happens because I haven't read that far. But it's definitely really creepy because each of these characters is having to deal with facing their worst fear. So it's very, very creepy. Question number 8 is, the days are getting colder. Name a short, heartwarming read that could warm up somebody's cold and rainy day. So this one is a very recent read, and that is Fortunately the Milk by Neil Gaiman. It's very, very short. It's very sweet. It has a lot of illustrations. You can't see that, the glare is too bad. It has a lot of illustrations. It's so fun, and I feel like this is just a great one that will warm you up from the inside out. It's super sweet, and it's all got the fall colors all on there. Question number 9 is, fall returns every year. Name an old favorite that you'd like to return to soon. So this one I mentioned in another video, and that is Keturah and Lord Death by Martine Levitt. This is one that I absolutely loved back in high school when I first read it, and I haven't read it since then, and it was one of my absolute favorite books of all time back then, and I've talked about it a million times to like everyone I know, and so I want to reread it, and especially with it being like fall wintry time, I definitely would like to reread it sometime this year, maybe next, like the beginning of next year, so that I can just get back into this lovely story, because I love it so much and I haven't read it in so long. Question number 10, fall is the perfect time for cozy reading nights. Share your favorite cozy reading accessories. So I have 3 for you. The first one is my cozy blanket. I got this, it's really big, it's like a queen size blanket. And I got this for Christmas last year, and it is so soft and fuzzy and lovely. So I love to snuggle up with this while I'm reading for cozy, cozy warm nights. The next one is, so during the summer, I hate having my feet covered up because it is so hot here, but I love in the fall, because my feet get really cold, to have fuzzy socks. So I have like quite a few fuzzy, like different fun polka dot colors or stripes or whatever that I like to wear in bed under my cozy blanket while I read. And then the last thing is this awesome candle. So this is Sweater Weather from Bath and Body Works. It smells amazing, and it just smells like a fall-y day, and I just love smelling this while I read. It oftentimes like puts me in like the atmosphere of the book, so I really, really love lighting candles while I read. And I'll light different ones, like this isn't the only one I will light for the fall time, but, and look at the top, it's all leaves. But I do love lighting candles while I read at night in cozy reading times. So candles, yay. Finally, question number 11 is, spread the autumn appreciation and tag some people. So honestly, I don't
know who's already done this tag, so I'm not going to tag anyone.
If you haven't done this tag and you would like to, I now tag you to do it. And yeah, I hope you have fun with this video, because I had so much fun with it, and it just makes me feel more folly. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time with another video. Bye!